Welcome to Is Anybody Listening to Me podcast with Azar and the Meat. We're on episode 6, and today we're going to be reviewing another fall beer, and we're going to have a hearty debate about some alcohol that we've been getting a lot of criticism on, at least one of us. We finally got our third man in to the show. We're excited to have him here, and we're going to talk about the golf tournament over the summer, and we're going to actually call this more of an intervention than a discussion on the golf tournament. We're going to have our usual entertainment review. I got had a chance to watch the Rambo movie and share some highlights on that. And we're going to do our favorite topic, the fantasy review. We're going to talk about who's the biggest busts and who the biggest surprise is. Let me welcome my host, Big Meat.
All right, so back to having a threesome here.
Oh.
Hey, this is kind of nice. Well, welcome back, Jarvis.
I don't want anything sexual with you two guys.
It was a long time coming. I'm glad to finally be back.
We can't call this a threesome? Is this not what a threesome is?
The Three's Company.
All right. Well, we're still missing Mr. Roper. Mr. Roper is yet to join us on the podcast, but maybe the next one.
We've been kicked out of the Roper Studios, unfortunately. We had to find a whole new base of operations.
That's right. Well, you know, at some point we'll be back in there. We just gotta get in good with Mrs. Roper, and then he'll let us back in.
She definitely is the boss of the family.
That's true. That's very true.
Gotta get your mic on, big.
I'm ready. I just, I wanted to control my heavy breathing. I've heard the critiques from this podcast, and just loudmouth breathing is something that needs to be cut back. So I'm trying to contribute to your viewers.
Okay, well,
pleasure.
You don't need to deep throat that microphone. It's right. I told you don't need to get that close to it.
I'm jaded from the last one. You made me wear a little kid's video game headset that I had to pretty much swallow just to get my voice on. So this is a new experience, having quality equipment finally from this hack operation.
And I'm the only loud breather on this podcast. Don't try to.
Well, I have to cover my microphone. I don't have one of those little velvety condom things that you guys have on there, so I'm trying
to get you one.
There you do. I'm just trying to keep you breathing away from this end of my table.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem. The little condom on top of the microphone that's the issue that we're
it makes it look professional, though.
It does.
We look like professional podcasts. I'm trying to win an Emmy for this podcast.
I think they call those Marconis. I think you want to win a Marconi.
I thought that's the radio. Isn't that radio?
What is this? Internet radio? Do they do podcast Emmys? What do they call them? Pemmys?
I don't know. I wouldn't really even call this a podcast. I don't know.
It's a band of misfits. Is it? Getting a little criticism about the equipment.
Erroneous on all counts.
Well, if it's a Marconi, then it's a soon-to-be a Marconi award-winning podcast.
It doesn't stop Big Meat from running around Old Orchard Beach claiming that he's a celebrity. So
it's true. I'm gonna get a box of Kraft and just remove the A, so your macaroni will just say Marconi. We'll give you a little trophy there.
Yeah, we got to get business cards and hand them out. That's what we need.
that will increase business. All right, so let's first, as usual, we try to give our fans a little bit of review of what holiday beer or not holiday, seasonal beer or alcohol that we're consuming right now. And right now we are actually consuming the Southern Tier Pumpkin Imperial Pumpkin Ale beer. Mm-hmm. And this is one of my personal favorite beers for the season. Gave Big Meat a chance to try it. What do you think so far?
It's really good. It's strong though, right? I mean, it's what 8%.
Oh yeah, it is an 8% alcohol.
8%. Yeah, it's a strong one.
We're gonna need another Uber.
Yeah. That's If you want something a little bit stronger, people always compare it to like eating a pumpkin pie. That's like people who drink that beer. It's just thick and it's just very strong. But it's not bad. I still like my traditional shipyard pumpkin ale, Pumpkinhead.
More than Southern Tier?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned.
I won't call you old-fashioned. I'll call you many things. Old-fashioned is not one of them. But I think the Southern Tier, for me, it's a bit less sweet and sugary than the Shipyard Pumpkin taste. The Pumpkinhead from Shipyard, to me, tastes more like pumpkin pie. This tastes more like pumpkin beer because it still has that beer flavor to it.
Yeah.
But when like you said, that 8% alcohol really gets you by the time you get halfway through the...
And I think they only sell them in 4-packs, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so they keep you in check.
A lot of bars who serve it, they don't even serve it in the tall glass like they do with all the other ones. They have to shorten the glass a little bit because it's so strong.
Little fairy snifters.
I'll tell you what, though, it is better than Smutty Nose. I'll give it that.
We know what the bottom is. and now we know. But I actually would prefer Southern Tier if I had to buy a 4-pack versus a 6-pack of Shipyard. I'd definitely take Southern Tier. And I actually had an opportunity to try UFO's pumpkin beer, and it was really good. I had it on tap. I haven't found it in the bottle, but in Windham, New Hampshire, there's an Old School Bar and Grill. Give a shout out for them. They have it on tap, and it's ice cold, and it is delicious. But that gives you that sweet flavor like Shipyard. You can definitely, it's a much sweeter beer than the Southern Tier, and definitely sweeter than the Smutty Nose. I think Smutty Nose really is just pumpkin brewed into a beer and not a lot of flavor. Where Southern Tier, it has a little bit of sweetness, but it doesn't overwhelm you like the Shipyard or the UFO. So if you like sweet, I'd definitely Shipyard if you find the UFO. But if you want a good, strong pumpkin beer with a lot of flavor and kick, Southern Tier is definitely the way to go.
I'm glad I could contribute that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Not for you. You didn't like it. Azar, I'm glad I could bring that to you.
I wouldn't say it deserves an but it deserves a like an O. Yeah, exactly. Like an O, not an ooh. I am obsessed from our last podcast with the Leinenkugels, which I drank many since that podcast. That Harvest Patch Sandy. Oh, that's what Jarvis is drinking now. That is good stuff. That deserves a double ooh.
This is on the extreme opposite end of the sweet spectrum. This is pure sugary, sweet.
I love my
liquid pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it's a liquid pumpkin candy bar.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's good stuff. But you know what? I was drinking that all day last week, and all day and all night, and wasn't hungover at all the next day. I don't know what it was. I drank a lot of them, and I just did not. I don't know if it's just the lemonade in it. It's
lemonade
hydrating me, or
that's what shandy means, Azar.
I don't think it has lemonade in it though.
Let's see.
Oh, we're not going to pause here. That's
no. Keep talking. I'm gonna analyze.
This might take a while.
Well, it's got half something in it to make it sweet.
It's not definitely lemonade.
Weiss beer brewed with honey and natural flavor.
Yeah, these guys clearly have no clue what they're talking about. So, from beer experts, we are not. But let me tell you,
don't look for lemonade.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
All right, now let's. This is a surprise, aggressive topic that's going to come up right now because this is a little near and dear to my heart because I've been attacked for this ruthlessly, and luckily for me, the third man in is someone who enjoys this beverage as much as I do.
Truly, I do.
Yes, and yes, we have received a lot of question of our masculinity for choosing this beverage, but I think it's a healthy debate since we have three of us here to discuss it. What is all the negative energy towards drinking a White Claw? I find them refreshing. And yes, it is not a very masculine-looking beverage. Yeah, a lot of women do drink it. But if you're doing marathon drinking, I find it hard to drink all day, drinking Bud Light all day, and you can't go hard liquor all day.
Isn't it the 21st century version of Zima?
Which I'm a big fan of, so you're not going to get me on that. I would drive to Vermont maybe for a Zima XXX. I wouldn't go much further than that because you find something more appealing on the way. But a Zima XXX orange, oh my God, forget it. It was like orange soda. I could drink that, to Azar's point, all day without breaking stride. I could have 12.
This is where we will differ. I did not like Zima. No, Zima, it was thick, like syrupy, like Sprite.
It was like orange soda. It was exactly right. It was like drinking a soda.
It was very thick. Where the seltzer, I love club soda and vodka, especially the flavored club sodas at home. You get a flavored vodka and club soda all day during the summer. Great summer refreshing drink. And I think if you're hanging out in the summer, you're doing marathon drinking, maybe not at a cookout with all guys might not be the best thing to do it. But I still think the White Claws, you don't get a hangover. I never had a hangover on them. You can drink tons of them. And the White Claws at least have a higher alcohol than I think the Trulies.
They do. They do. Which I took a double insult for when I opted for Truly.
I'm not a fan of the Trulies, but White Claws I do enjoy. I think it's a mistake to attack people ruthlessly.
Yes.
For just choosing not to pass out early.
I never attacked. Was I one of the attackers?
No, but you did pass out early.
Yeah.
When did I pass out?
You don't remember because you didn't have the White Claws. You were drinking something else.
That's right. That is true. No, I mean, I will never judge anybody for drinking.
That's not true. You, in fact, have judged very hard on our affection for White Claw and not so much Truly on your end. Yes.
And we will judge you because any man who wants to drink Jameson and ginger has reached rock bottom.
It's true.
Jameson and ginger is good stuff.
Yeah, if you're an alcoholic.
And
you're running out of money.
That just means I know my alcohol, and I can tell you that. No, you know what? You almost tricked me into judging you guys and drinking White Claw. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Where's Matthew Slater with this podcast is brought to you by AdCare. For alcohol addiction, please call 1-800-ADCARE.
He went from Jim Beam or
honey whiskeys.
Yeah, honey whiskeys. He was buying more expensive things, and now you can tell the funds are drying up because now we're going to Jameson, which is what, $8 a bottle?
No, Jameson's pretty expensive. $28 for a medium-sized bottle.
For a handle?
No.
Yeah, I just...
$28.
What are you paying prohibition prices?
I'm telling you, Jameson's not cheap. Jameson's not cheap whiskey.
No, it's
yes, it is cheap whiskey.
It's disgusting.
No, it's cheap whiskey.
It's good Irish whiskey.
No.
But you got to mix it with ginger ale because
see, there you go. If you have to mix it, it's not a good whiskey.
I don't want to buy anything that I have to mix. Well, if I want something mixed, I'm drinking a White Claw.
When did this turn into a Jameson and ginger discussion?
Because that's your defense against us drinking White Claw.
Listen, I love my whiskey, straight up whiskey on the rock. Sometimes even without any ice in it. Just a sipping drink. I love my whiskey.
Do you love it? Do you love it as Jameson?
No, you don't.
Okay,
he said
it.
Up.
So it's like drinking Crown Royal.
Do you drink Captain Morgan's? Straight up.
Yeah, it's not good rum.
You mix it with Coke though,
because it's shitty rum.
Yeah, it's shit rum.
Do you ever drink gin?
Yep.
Straight up,
if need be.
No, because we're not alcoholics. That's what we're trying to make the case. You're drinking whiskey.
What I'm trying to say is. You get a drink.
Drink gin. Yeah, I'm a freaking. You know what? I'm so desperate. I drink mouthwash too.
I take it back. You guys with your White Claw drinking. Those White Claws. What are you guys, millennials?
We're trying to fit in with the millennials.
That's right. We get less heads turning for you walking down with a red Solo cup spinning everywhere than we do with a nice compact White Claw that can conveniently fit multiple ones in a pocket because they're extra narrow.
The upside of mixing Jameson with ginger ale, because it's ginger ale, in case you have a little tummy ache, it helps with your...
You can get White Claw ginger. I'm sure there's some sort of turmeric or millennial flavor that goes into the White Claws that will make it the same effect.
The beauty of the White Claw, and again, people can mock, you can criticize, we'll welcome the feedback. But I'm telling you, if you've done a marathon drinking of a Coors Light or Bud Light, there's always a price to pay. Either you're puking up the Bud Light, or it's coming out the next day in the other way. It backfires. Because for some reason, that stuff does not last well in your body. Your body wants to excise that stuff quickly. And you can't drink Sam Adams all day because it's just too heavy. It's tough to do marathon drinking with Sam's or any of those beers because it's just too heavy. Telling you. And the good thing about White Claws, you can mix. You can mix pretty easily with White Claws. I went from hard liquor to White Claws and back and forth.
A White Claw is a fancy version of Mad Dog 2020, which is essentially malt liquor for snooty people, not homeless people. So, I mean,
you cannot compare White Claw with Mad Dog 2020.
It's the same premise, except one's in a really fancy can that gorgeous people drink, and the other one ugly people. Terrible, homeless, I'm just trying to end my life.
Oh, you're in a fraternity and you have no money. That's just what you're drinking.
I had, the Mad Dog Christmas. I had a green one and a red one night, and it just didn't end well. I don't remember how it ended, but it didn't end well.
And you can never say the night didn't end well on a White Claw. You're actually pretty coherent.
Think about it.
Do these guys not sound like snobby, with high class snobs talking about your White? Can we move on to the next discussion? I don't want to talk about White Claws anymore. We
are just making the case for those who violently and viciously attacked us verbally with not you.
And every time you talk about drinking for an extended period of time, you've used the phrase marathon drinking. I can't help but to want to attack the marathon friend of ours that seems to be the biggest anti-White Claw. I swear to God, every time I had a Truly or a White Claw in my hand, he was all over me, and I was like,
he drinks White Claw. He doesn't drink White Claw.
I don't think he does. Until Brooks sponsors it. Brooks has anything to do with White Claw, and how he's going to stop.
If it's the official drink of the Boston Marathon, it will be.
As soon as they sponsor the Boston Marathon, it's got electrolytes, and it's really good for your running, pronation in your knees. He's going to be all over it. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I can tell you, I can confirm that Brooks is our sponsor. So this podcast is sponsored by Brooks. Brooks. You could get the best running shoes.
Oh, geez. All right.
Did we get them?
Yeah.
That's not true?
No, we didn't get anything.
Oh, we didn't get them as a sponsor?
No, we did not get them.
Sorry.
Joe, you're crazy. What are we shooting for here? All right. So
it's a great plug.
Yeah.
If there's any Brooks reps listening, we're looking for sponsors.
Yes, we need to go because we're on SoundCloud, so we're actually on an official service. So we hopefully in the near future we'll have sponsors. As we're building up our platform here, so we're really excited about that. More details about that later. All right. We had our first segment. We're going to move on to our second segment, which is it's technically entertainment because we went to a golf tournament. We had a great time. If you recall, a few episodes ago, Jarvis came in and shared some of the highlights. It was a little longer than we really wanted, but he gave us a lot of very thorough details. So we completed the event, and the event was uneventful from a medical perspective. Thank God, no one was rushed to the hospital, as far as I can know.
Which is a good thing. We won.
Yeah, we accomplished something there. None of us were in the ER. But what was fascinating was our teammate, which is the host of this event. He golfs with us, and there was some parts of the afternoon that were filled with rage, and we didn't really understand what brought on this rage. Can you add to this, me? What did you observe from our third man, and who's also the head of this event? Because I have some interesting footnotes to share.
I could certainly confirm that Jarvis was angry. He was angry. That was an angry Jarvis that day. He was just yelling at everyone. He was yelling at you, Azar, for not grabbing his putter, even though you both walked together to the green. It wasn't you guys leave the cart together. You walk up to the green, and then he turns to you because he didn't have his putter, and he yells at you for not grabbing his putter.
And I didn't realize it was his caddy. I was driving him around apparently, so he just assumed because he ran the event that anybody who was in the cart with him now must be the designated caddy. So I was a little taken aback, but I was a little bit more flustered by his the violence towards the help that did not meet the standard.
It's all volunteer work. All volunteer work. Yeah.
They recruit these. Maybe they're less than 18 under 21-year-old children.
Yeah.
Basically, young men.
Everybody's over 18.
Okay, everybody's over 18, but they're young men, and they have no skill in any of this. They're just here to help out. Yeah. And one did not meet the cut. No. To Jarvis's eyes, he felt he wasn't bringing enough energy to the group, and I was horrified when he got on his little microphone and started berating the person on the side of this microphone and demanding this person to be tossed off the golf course. Escort him because he's spoiling the mood of a golf tournament, people, that's filled with men who have been drinking since 7 a.m, and the mood was disturbed by this one person who just wasn't smiling enough.
That is very true. That is very true.
So, just to put you on the spot, what was all this rage about?
Okay, so I will address in order your gripes.
Please
First, the putter incident. There's been a lot of misconceptions as to how the putter incident occurred. I had several holes earlier, had noticed you were coming from the opposite side of the fairway, and I had the cart, and I grabbed a club that you needed. I think it was your putter. As I walked, so you didn't have to come over to the cart and then come back up. When this happened in a reciprocal fashion, I had already lost my mind about the second gripe that I have to address. Okay. So I was in an angry state, and the way it came out that I just wanted to focus back on golf and fun, I looked and I went, you got to be kidding me. I got to walk back over to my cart. And I went, Azar, you couldn't have grabbed my putter. And I just at that point, it was the last straw of my frustration, and it really was unjust. So I'm going to issue you a formal live on the air podcast apology for directing that last little bit of anger, because I'm about to explode on this other topic.
I can't wait for that one. This has been building up, Jarvis. This has been we've been waiting for this to discuss this this is like intervention for us right now.
I understand, and it was a quick snap and a lash out. I said, Azar, you couldn't even get my putter?
Which is confusing because we left the cart together. It wasn't like his example where I was at the other side of the green, or he was like other side walking down the fairway.
I thought I was near the green and you were walking. I don't think we were as close as your recollection says. And if so, then I was like angry, rage, red, blackout.
In your defense, we have golfed since then, and we walked together, and I did forget my putter, and you actually had it in your hand, and I turned, and I said, "Oh, you got my putter," and I was like, "Wow, that was really nice of you." I think that's what you were expecting from.
That's all. You saw somebody struggling, a little etiquette, a little selflessness. That's all I needed at that point. I didn't realize my partner was geriatric ward, barely surviving on his own. It was selfish of me at this point to realize that we were probably 10, 12 holes through and you hadn't had a medical emergency yet. And the shame that I felt after asking you to go above and beyond when you were already barely making it.
Now we're spinning it into a whole new spectrum that actually isn't part of the discussion. What he's basically saying, and you know what? We'll tie this into another incident. See, what he's failing to comprehend in this situation is that there's this this aura about him because he runs the event and he writes the checks. So what happens is because he writes the checks, everybody is now at his service. So as a gentleman that you would think we're part of this foursome, we're with the person that writes the check, you think there would be some benefits for us. Of course, when we go to the sausage stand for lunch, what does he tell the person? I write the checks. Make sure you hook me up. He doesn't say hook all of us up. Mm-hmm. He makes sure that he is taken care of. So when he's worrying about a putter, right? Here we are, like schmoes, sitting in front, and we're not worthy to get the same privilege and benefit because we don't write the check. So on more than one occasion, we heard how he writes the checks, and none of that benefit seems to happen or cascade downwards to the peasants that are with him in the foursome. So you can sit there and talk about my health issues and my medical emergencies, but you definitely put on this executive hat as soon as you walk on that golf course, and you almost think like he's Donald Trump walking onto this golf course. Look how beautiful my course is. Isn't this beautiful? It's almost like it's his course.
So I really have good things to say. Azar, I'm just worried about your sodium intake on the day. I didn't want your levels to spike. And in my defense, when I said that,
wait, you walked away with your food, his jacked up sausage stuff filled to the rim. He didn't wait for us. He walked away while we were waiting to be served. So he didn't worry about anything. He was just make sure he was all set, and then he walked away. Thanked the ladies. Didn't wait to make sure we were served first, the guests. No. It was, I got my sub. I got my freaking peppers loaded. So when we want anything, we were scraping the pan because, of course, we're not writing the check. So what the hell does it matter about us?
All right, that's valid. I have no rebuttal for that. Other than the timing of that, I believe, was after the putter incident, which was after the issue that I've yet to address.
All right, address the issue. We have to break through on this one. This one needs intervention.
Okay, so you have to understand.
He's sweating, people. Just let you know, picture this. He's sweating right now in pure rage.
He's getting angry again.
The amount of time that we have at this event to make it profitable is overall maybe just 2 hours. The months of work that goes into this thing. We have from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock to sell raffle tickets. And maybe out of the 5 hours of golf, how maybe 2.5 hours there's somebody actually at a hole buying raffle tickets. So all in all, there's 4 hours that money is transacting. So we have to have not just people who are sharp and on point trying to encourage golfers to gamble on themselves. Nobody wants to bet on their golf game because everybody's golf game sucks except for DeAngelis. His is good. Can we use that marathon? But his golf game. Oh no, in Royal, forget that. But them aside, everybody else is hesitant to bet on themselves. So when you walk up to a hole and it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to hit the green, and then you have to bet $10 or bet $20 on it, you're probably not going to do that. So it's a waste of my time, and some of them are not volunteers. They get a commission of what they sell. Oh. There is a little incentive there.
We're not aware of that. Okay.
There's a little incentive there because...
Of course, it's probably just the women that work there, and the guys get crap if I was going to be a betting man. But
I cannot disclose the arrangements of my deals.
Okay.
So the deal is, from the onset, we only have the small window of time that you get up to a hole, have a quick interaction to determine whether you're going to spend $10 or not. And if you don't, that foursome walks away. That's $40 I cannot have back at the hole. And it's a one-time deal. So we have usually three contest holes. We have the Monte Carlo, which is where this particular incident occurred. We have the Patriots, thank you, our special donor, tickets hole, and then we had the UMass Lowell hole. And at each hole, it's $10 to play. If somebody doesn't play at that hole becomes less profitable for the money that we put into making it happen. So the Monte Carlo hole we don't make happen, but we can technically lose money because if everybody hits the green, we pay out.
Okay.
Because that's the only place you get to make money at the tournament. So if you bet 10, you hit the green, we pay you 20. So if everybody did that, we would lose money. But most people suck, so they end up not hitting the green. So great. The more people that play. Same thing at the other two holes. Now, when we pulled up to the Monte Carlo hole, that is the one hole that everybody should play because even if you suck, stroke a block, you hit the green, you win. If somebody else hits the green and they bet 10 or if they bet 5, you can still make your money back and then split it. It's the only hole that everybody should play.
All right, get to the rage.
It's building.
Okay.
And I'm actually trying to suppress.
Yes, but this is a small podcast.
I understand that. Okay, fine. The son of a... I'm not going to swear. The person who said he wanted to come and be a representative of the active group at the fraternity showed up late, had to be called several times, strolled out of bed with a dirty, raggy hoodie, like, wear clean clothes if you're going to be seriously. This is an alumni event and there's important people around. The kid had his hood on, was sitting Indian style in a picnic chair, it was an outdoor chair. He's sitting there, had his sunglasses on, looked half asleep, and it infected the girls that were there who had no idea what they were really supposed to do. They knew they were supposed to be.
He's getting fired up.
They knew they were supposed to be engaged. They knew they were supposed to be bubbly, and they were, but they had no direction. And this kid was supposed to be there to give him direction because he was at the hole last year. He knew exactly what I wanted, and that kid could have been any less of a lug sitting there. And when we pulled up, he didn't even get out of the chair to say hello to any of you. This isn't even the race directive chair.
He's going to blow, gentlemen. He's going to blow.
He didn't even say freaking hello. And then by the time we left, all he did when he finally moved, it was because I said, hey, don't be afraid to get up and say hello to the next group. Don't make it look like it's a chore for you to be here right now, pal, because you don't need to be here.
And this is the rage that was in the golf cart.
All right, so let me ask you this. So you said it was a very important hole, right? Probably the most important hole?
Yeah.
So why was he assigned to that hole? Who put him that hole?
So it was the only hole that needed money transacting in and out. All the other holes, it's just money in, and the girls are more trustworthy because they don't have to give money back. At this hole, if somebody hit the green, and the girl said, oh, I didn't see it, right? Or I don't know, the rules here, just take your money. It's the only hole that the girls could also manipulate the payouts, and I needed somebody, and a trusted Sigo brother, just because it's Sigo, let's trust them all. Right. Put that kid there because I wanted a brother at the hole.
Who is responsible?
No.
We want to know. We're going to blacklist them. You know, this does sound like a Seinfeld episode, like the rickshaw episode where they get the homeless guy to move the rickshaw. This is what you described. This homeless kid came out.
Wasn't homeless.
Practically in a ripped up hoodie, but shame.
You make a good case. You do make a good. It's very convincing. Very convincing.
He did not,
but it still doesn't explain your Incredible Hulk anger.
That doesn't explain it. Well, then I don't remember the sequence afterwards. But by the time we made it back, because that was hole 4. By the time we came down the long drive on hole 5, I had been watching. The next 2 groups come in behind us. And the next 2 groups, if you remember, behind us were prestigious groups, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Me and Azar?
You were with me.
Oh, you said prestigious.
Yeah. Well, clearly you didn't have a podcast. That kid got in the cart with the girls, drove all the way down to the green, and sat there. The whole premise is one person stands at the hole, pays the money, one person goes down and watches the ball. This kid got in the cart with the girls and just tagged along with them and ignored his duties as money handler, his obligation to the fraternity to try to connect the brethren from the active group to the alumni. This kid was set up to make an impression, and oh boy, did he make an impression. He made a suckbag impression, the likes that I haven't seen.
So a little heads up to everybody out there that would like to volunteer for next year's golf tournament.
Have a personality.
If you do decide to volunteer and show up, just know Jarvis will be watching you.
Absolutely. And to your point, it was hole 6 that I finally decided to get on the radio, that they called me back and I said, get that SOB off the golf course because he's killing my mood, he's killing everybody's mood, and he's killing the girls' mood because the girls are supposed to be the ones engaging with the alumni to spend money. That kid is supposed to be engaging with the alumni to show that there is connection, that they can show up and hold a freaking conversation instead of sitting there looking like I dragged them out for 8:30 a.m. Tuesday morning political science class.
Do not mess with the man who writes the checks.
Yes,
Do not mess with that man.
There was a dark side that came out. It was.
Well, on the bright side, though, all in all, it was a great event. And no emergencies, right? No chest pain, no barking seals, no heartburn,
but
no softball-sized lumps on people's elbows.
No.
None of that. It was good. It was a good event.
And the prizes, for the most part, were really good prizes. Now, I've been holding this one in. Our host, our third man guest here, again, runs the event, writes the checks, he chooses the prizes, and there were some questionable choices. That
filler prizes.
Filler, yeah.
So,
I need to understand that this is mainly, and I know there are some women that do participate, so I understand that. But the gymnast,
so Mary Lou Retton,
no, it was Kerry Strug,
whoever.
it was the most perplexing. One of the most perplexing prize for the audience. And you actually went and bought this in raffle, or went to Pristine Auction, which we hopefully one day will get as a sponsor because they're a great website.
Plug.
But the interesting thing is that was one, and then there was this country folk singer.
What?
Some country singer that nobody knows.
Come on, wait a second.
He calls us now, folks. The reason this is funny is because he within not even 20 minutes ago, 32 minutes ago, accused us of being geriatric people compared to him. And he finds a poster autograph of some hillbilly country singer that nobody knows. And we're all like, and you're supposed to be doing a silent, like, you put your tickets into every bag. Now, maybe you got 1 or 2 tickets in this bag. Surprisingly, the gymnast went to a prize to someone where I think his wife is more masculine than the gymnast, so I'm not surprised that person actually turned him on, and that's why he probably put that raffle tickets in for that prize.
Well, he had a 50% chance of winning.
So it's interesting that I understand him, but when the person won, that hillbilly country singer was so excited, and we were like, "Who is this guy?" Like, I went home with a Kyrie Irving poster. Big Meat went home with a Mickey Ward.
Hold on, Kyrie Irving in a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey.
But you know what?
Not even in a Celtics jersey.
So wait,
he's a mercenary, so I can understand.
You both golfed with somebody the guy who wrote the checks, and you both won.
We did.
Fairly decent prize.
We did. Signed glove. That was
okay.
Nice. Got a little heat for that. I don't understand why, but I'm very happy with my Mickey Ward signed glove.
Who gave you heat for that?
Azar.
No, I liked it.
You like? All right, people did. Some did.
I liked it. I'm not a big fan of the Mickey Ward.
I don't understand why you call this country hillbilly like unrecognizable. We're going to play a quick game, and it's going to be name the person that sings this song, and you'll understand why.
It's a famous song. I understand it.
Okay. Do you understand?
I know the song. I actually enjoy the song.
The song
Would you really want a signed photo of him?
Clearly somebody liked it.
Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice was a hit.
If I
would not want Vanilla Ice signed picture. I don't want any one-hit wonders.
So, all right. Okay, so if it was a fail in your eyes, it was an attempt at being eclectic, because not everybody may enjoy sports as much as they would enjoy pop culture. So I tried to diversify.
Mixed it up. Yeah, I get it.
Wait,
but then I ran out of money.
How old was the fraternity?
1964.
Okay, 60s. So when you think of the bands, the genres that came in the 60s.
But you're also got to be in a price range, because at that point I was trying to fill in.
Think of all the great bands of the day from the 60s on, and this is what he thinks.
Yeah, but if you got better volunteers that could raise a lot more money,
we could afford the Rolling Stones.
So it goes back to that son of a bitch.
Exactly.
It all comes back to that.
So now we've come full circle.
And wait a second, what's the matter with Carrie Strug? She did that. She got that 10 on the vault. That was for a gold medal on one foot. Do you remember that? She had the foot all broken up, and she'd hurt herself earlier, and she did the vault. That was legit.
That was legit. I don't know if anybody really wanted that.
A legit piece of Americana. And I listened to what we had a whole 2 tables of autographs, men's autographs.
Yeah, you did have some
women at that
Larry
event.
Bird autographed.
But no woman put anything in it. Well, technically, a woman put something in it that we know.
That's true. The person that won is half woman.
But it's
But it was there for them to see. If I didn't have it there, I would have had a Me Too bumper sticker on my forehead by the time I left, and I just wanted to make everybody happy. Well, and the women that were there ended up winning everything else.
Yes, they did. They actually cleaned house. And I got to say, the Jaws autograph signed picture from Jaws, that was good. And the Mike Tyson punch out.
Was Jaws if he actually was the one that signed it? That would have been even better.
No, Richard Dreyfuss is a good...
Like the shark?
Like the shark if Jaws himself actually signed it?
Like a tooth mark?
Just like a bite mark out of the side of the picture.
Well, folks, you can tell John had too many Southern tears because he's making nonsense
I did not. I'm drinking Oktoberfest.
All right. Let's move on.
Before we move on, I do...
Here comes
one more thing, and I think Jarvis will appreciate this. A couple things about you, Azar, I should actually point out. You did almost kill one of our most prestigious alumni at the golf ball on one of the holes.
What are you talking about?
He dropped the ball on Kennedy, didn't he?
The group in front of us were behind a tree off to the right, and you didn't see him in front of us. And you just hit that ball, and it landed directly right next to him.
Okay, that wasn't prestigious. It was Gordon.
Who has no recollection of any of the history from the fraternity.
That's right.
Well, prestigious in the history books.
His name is prestigious. His physical presence.
Yeah.
Max still talks
about it. We're unloading. This is going to be
And another one of...
we're not going to get into all our topics
Jarvis,
today.
I think, would appreciate this one. When Azar hit probably the best drive of the day. And by best, I don't mean it was like the farthest drive. It was very cute. It was a very cute drive.
It was the cutest drive I've ever seen. It was just the best way to describe it was the cutest drive of the year. If there was an ESPY for cutest drive, you would definitely be on it.
Coming from the guys, the Happy Gilmore and Shank to the Woods all day, I at least percentage-wise get more on the fairway than, yes, I had a little oops once in a while, but... It happened.
That's why it was cute. It was on the fairway. It was 100 yards down, but it was cute.
Judas Meat has thrown the knives into my back.
This is also coming from the only man to consistently hit 90-degree tee shots.
I'm flustered here. Coming from the guy who aims on the tee, aims at the houses so we can aim straight. This is what we're talking about here. All right. We're 38 minutes deep here.
Okay.
And we haven't really covered all the topics. So we're going to wrap up. So we can understand the root of all the problems is that one individual. So we're just going to have to hang him next time we see him.
I think so.
So if we do the alumni dinner this year, I think he will be the target.
I'm going
to take Xanax before the next golf tournament.
And I'll make sure I grab your clubs every time I
That's all I ask. A little etiquette is all I ask.
Yeah, I was so afraid of him this time when we went golfing in Maine. I actually rode with meat in the cart because I was afraid to be lashed at and screamed at again. So
who did I ride with?
Dangles. Our marathon boy.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So...
I was angry then, too.
Yeah. There's a common theme, and that's why we're having an intervention. We've actually dedicated most of this podcast as an intervention to bring out this unexplained rage that you've been feeling. All right. So we have a choice. We're 39 minutes deep. Should we jump into fantasy, or should we do some quick highlights of entertainment?
We could do the quick highlights of then we could wrap it up then.
All right. So I just wanted to say, and I think Meat and I will save this for the next podcast. I did have a chance to see Rambo, that we talked about, Rambo 5. I think we're up to now, and it was. No spoilers because my guests, my peers here have not seen it, and I know the audience might not have seen it. Sorry, that was a slip of the tongue. Yeah, our guest and our co-host have not seen it, but I got to tell you, it is violent.
Yeah,
very violent. But it was interesting and unique because we're all fans of Rambo movies. This one had a real big emotional cord tied to it because it was a relative of his that is involved in it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but because it involved one of his relatives, it was very emotional, which is very strange for a Rambo movie because usually he's just killing from the beginning to end. This one, it wasn't violent from the beginning, which was fascinating. It didn't get violent till the end of the movie. But what I'll give him credit for is the creativity of violence was far beyond anything I've ever seen. He goes above and beyond using his bow and arrow or his knife, his bow knife or whatever. I forget what the knife is called. Bowie knife. Yeah, thank you. And much more creative. So I think you'll be thoroughly enjoy that aspect of the violence that and the creativity that he introduced. The only challenge is I think to keep it in the theme of the 80s movies where they're short, quick movies, because they try to explore this deep emotional part of the story, they kind of wrapped up the end, where the violence could have been stretched much more. I think there was more room for him to really get that kill count going and stretch out the story and make it interesting. It seemed like they kind of rushed to the end of it, and it left you on a high note. Like, he didn't let you down the way he ended it. But but I wish they maybe went, instead of like an hour and a half movie, give it another half hour, stretched out the story a little bit, let his rage fully manifest. Let him go full Jarvis in the story because that's what was missing. Like, you felt his rage, but he didn't give it an opportunity to kind of breathe and let it completely impact the story. So go watch it, guys, and we'll come back and talk about it.
I'll definitely watch it.
But it is.
That was my analysis of Creed 2 as well. I thought it did the same thing.
Yeah, maybe he's because of his age. He doesn't want the stories to last long.
He's got a time limit before.
Yeah, it just
goes back to the retirement home.
Well, at least answer me this: what was your estimate on the kill count? Was it more than the last one?
No,
the last one was what, like 275?
Yeah, no, it was far less. So we were debating last time. How can he get his kill count up?
Yeah.
And when he taxes home, that's the brunt of it. Like, you'd be surprised how many people he kills.
Yeah.
But again, that's where I felt it was missing is when he goes on the attack, there was more room for him to go on the attack. And they kind of blunted that part of the story and then brought the highlight when they attack him, which is what they show in the preview. So it's not a spoiler. They obviously come at him, and he's creative. When you attack Rambo, he makes sure no one's walking home. Or no one walks home.
Well, we learned that in the first one when he ran out to the woods. He set all the booby traps for those sheriffs.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was just in the middle of the movie. That wasn't even like the end of it. That was right in the middle. And that's probably most everyone's favorite scene of Rambo, the first one. I think that's where producers, when they started making the sequels to those movies, they were looking back at that and saying, That was a great sequence of where he was hiding underneath the leaves and he was just popping up out of nowhere. And then all the other Rambo movies after that kind of played off of that, only to a larger extent.
And they took all that and made the final sequence of the movie like that. But he had time to prepare for it, when he's in the jungle, or when he's in the forest, and he's working quick, with his knife, and he's making his little pointed spears and stuff. Here he has time. He knows this is coming. And again, A, for creativity, because the violence, what he uses for weapons, if you love that kind of stuff, think of Commando, the movie Commando, when he's in the shed and he finds a way to use a freaking blade, he grabs a saw blade and just uses that as a weapon. Yeah. That's creativity, right? You can use anything as a weapon. Rambo doesn't let you down. And just think, he lives on a farm. So how creative he could possibly be when you live on a farm.
A lot of farm equipment.
Yes, yeah. Oh, it is.
A lot of pointy ends on farm equipment.
It is awesome. It is awesome. All right. We're gonna skip a couple topics because we can get back to it. But let's go into fantasy because we're almost, it's going to be a long podcast. So right now we're 4 weeks into the season, and I wanted to talk about 4 weeks in, let's talk about who are your top 3 busts and who are your top 3 surprises. Because there's a lot of busts this season. So I think that part of our list should be interesting, who we consider our busts. But I'm really interested to hear who you think are your biggest surprises. So I'm going to let our guest host join us. Start it off. Let me know who you think your top 3 up and down are, and we'll go from there.
All right. So there were a couple of names. As I was looking over the list, I was going back and forth. So I'm not in love with my top 3 up, but they were definitely names that I either said, really? Who is this guy? Or, you know what? I was hemming and hawing. So first of all, I'm going to Lamar Jackson. I don't think anybody thought he was going to be able to pull up
the guy that drafted him. Yes, you're right.
Same guy that traded him.
I had to trade him. I needed to.
So Lamar Jackson just did it. He's done it, what, 3 weeks, 3 out of 4 weeks this year?
4 weeks.
4 out of 4. All 4 weeks he's gone off.
The third week he was okay, but
still put up numbers.
He did. Yeah. No,
that was the duel against Mahomes that week, right?
Yeah. He threw 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. No, he
rushed for like 4.
They almost won that game, right?
Yeah. I think he threw 1 and rushed 1. If I'm not mistaken.
Still, that's 6 points each. So I'm surprised Lamar Jackson is not a one-hit wonder. I thought he totally was. So, and from the injury perspective is really where I weighed this next one from. Dalvin Cook.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, guys, Todd Gurley went before him. There were a number of running backs that I thought he would be less than or equal to, and he has far surpassed.
Yeah.
Even first-round picks. He has been. And I knew he had a really strong training regimen over the offseason because I had him last year, so some of the things that I was following had come up, and he was doing a lot of sand training and things. So I was interested in taking him, but where I was drafting, it just wasn't the right time unless he slid. So I was surprised to see Dalvin Cook. And then this kid, now this week he had a bad week, but there's this wide receiver in Jacksonville named Shark. Shark. I don't know who this kid is. I just want to make fun of him, and he just reminds me of that Shark song that the kids sing, DJ Shark. Like, you got to be kidding me. Who is this guy? He's put up like 15 plus points 3 out of the 4 weeks. He didn't have a good week this week, so that's why I was kind of like, I don't know. But 3 weeks in a row, this no-name guy on the worst team in the league
because that quarterback, what's that, Cowboy?
Gardner Minshew. So that was my other name, but he came on too late. I think I want to see him for a few more weeks before he makes my...
Well, he started week 1, didn't he?
No. I don't think he started week 1. They had Nick Foles.
But Nick Foles got hurt early, though.
First game, yeah. Like half
yeah, he came in pretty early.
Was it week 1?
Like second half.
He's what led me to this guy, Chark. Because I was thinking Minshew, but I'm like, I think he's only done it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Minshew was an interesting character. He's like that all-American kind of...
He does. He's got that swag. He came out in that night at the Roxbury jumper off the airplane. Guy is dripping machismo.
He's got the Aaron Rodgers mustache. That's why.
Love it. So that's my 3. That's my 3 up. And again, the last one I could take or leave and kind of mixed it in with Minshew. I think Minshew's up there, but I didn't want to have 3 quarterbacks. Tried to do 1 at each position.
All right. So who are your 3 down?
Oh, all right. So my 3 down.
Rookie.
I thought we were going to do the 3 ups.
No, 3 up and 3 down.
Okay. My number 1 down is James Conner. What a waste.
All right. I'll let you finish your thought.
Because I just don't. He hasn't done anything.
That's true. But did you see what he did the last game? Game 4?
Oh, that was Monday night. No, I did see. Monday has a good game. Did he have a good game?
Yeah, he had a really good game. Yeah.
Well, okay, but still, I was really factoring
against a really bad team.
And he had to do it. He's had to do it without Ben Roethlisberger now for.
So I think there are some other effects around. I don't mean talent wise. I just think performance wise. For him to be
where he was drafted,
for him to be what he did last year. I mean, he came out of nowhere and essentially dominated fantasy football last year. Yeah. And to him to not even have an impact this year, which is a nice segue into my next pick, somebody who had a really good year last year and has not shown up once. It's my favorite Patriot, Sony Michel. What?
I won.
You have it.
You
gave me the forum. I'm going.
All right. So you did great with your biggest ups, but you're down.
All right. Let him get his third one. Let him get his third one.
Just trying to get him
average 2 yards per carry. Average 15 plus carries per game. 2 yards. He's averaging 30 yards.
You don't have to convince me on.
Yeah, but I want to say it for all of these people.
He's terrible. But I already knew he was terrible. You already knew he was terrible. Does that make him a bust?
Oh, but he was a first-round pick out of Georgia. He was projected to break 1,000 yards last year. Just watch him in the passing game. He didn't get drafted high.
He's not really like someone that put a lot of stock in it.
He will be on my list.
You just want to put him on there.
He was drafted in what, the 4th round, 5th round? That's starter level.
All right.
That's like getting drafted in the end of the 1st round in the NFL.
All right, your last one. Let's get you.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. That must have hurt you to write.
That's a bust, really, for you? He's been okay.
He's had the same less points than Gardner Minshew.
That hurts.
So the same guy that was his up that he loved so much, he's got less points than Minshew. So that's kind of a compliment because Minshew was
when you're drafting Aaron Rodgers in the 2nd round in our league.
This is true. This is true.
Again, if you go based on what the investment was. Right, it's a bust.
But I've acknowledged that and I needed Aaron Rodgers after we won the championship together last year. I felt it right to pay him his big contract and give him a swan song on my team. So we'll see what happens next year. But this is my last. I reached for him, and now I have him. I get one more year to kind of get it all out, and my team will reset next year. Maybe I won't take him next year. Maybe somebody else can have him. Maybe I'll take him later on when he slides. But Aaron Rodgers, my 3rd down.
Must have been hurt. Wow. Hurt him to write. All right, Meat. How about you give us your quick 3 up and down, just because of the sake of time.
All right. So biggest ups. So I'm going to agree with 2 out of the 3 that Jarvis threw.
Okay.
We think alike. Lamar Jackson for sure. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He was drafted very late. There was some talk that he was, just because of his running ability, like he was going to put up big numbers, but it's just been his passing as well, in addition to his running. That's really and it's not like he's loaded with any great receivers or anything like that. For him to put up these numbers,
I think Mark Ingram has helped him. When you have a decent running game, he can. The defenses aren't just playing deep. They have to focus on the run now, and I think that helps them a lot.
I mean, that first game they played Miami, right? And everybody was like, it's just Miami. Of course he's going to throw 5 touchdown passes, but he's been consistent. He's kept up. Dalvin Cook is the other guy that's been surprised. They got into this season, Minnesota, they wanted to be a run-first offense, so it's not that surprising.
Too much running.
But too much running according to Diggs and Thielen. But Cook is that guy, and was a rookie year. He just burst out of the gate, was great, tore his ACL. Last year he was recovering from his ACL, and this year everyone's like, he's going to come back. And he was drafted, I think, end of the 2nd round, but he's been the best running back in the league. He's been that good. So I agree. Dalvin Cook.
It seems a bit theme. You tear your ACL, you come back and you're a monster the next year. Is that just me or
just 3 letters? HGH.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's
you put a little metal in their knee and make them stronger.
Yeah,
bionic.
My 3rd surprise here. I actually mentioned the name earlier, and then when you mentioned Chark, I actually thought of another receiver. My guy I originally had on my list was Mark Andrews. He's a guy, right now, I love Mark Andrews.
What a surprise. What a Steve.
No, this is the reason I didn't put him, because I knew he
we almost had the same.
Kittle's out the door.
So Andrews was taken in the 2nd to last round, and right now he's, I think, the 2nd best top-ranked tight end in the league. He's been unbelievable, and in large part because of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take him off, and I'm going to replace him with another guy, another receiver that's actually been doing better than Chark. That's Scary Terry McLaurin out of Washington. He's been consistent. Yeah. He's been the most targeted receiver there. He's been putting up big numbers. Washington stinks. I think he got hurt at the end of the last game, so we might not even see him this weekend against the Patriots, but he's been good. He's been good, especially on a bad team like Washington and some nobody throwing to him. He's been a very nice surprise. My 3 busts, very different from your 3 busts. I would say Le'Veon Bell has got to be one of them. He's been awful. He's been so bad, and he was a middle 1st round pick. Now, I know he didn't play in a year and a half or whatever, but nobody really expected him to be this bad. I mean, I know it's the Jets, but still, I mean, he hasn't been putting up any numbers. So Le'Veon Bell's pretty bad. Odell Beckham is another one. There were huge hopes for him in Cleveland. They thought Baker Mayfield was going to take that next step. Through 4 games, I think he's got 1 touchdown. I mean, he had that one long pass or whatever it was, that kind of the catch and run that he ran for like 87 yards. But other than that, he's been kind of invisible. This last game that he had was just
2 catches for 20 yards.
It was nothing.
Baker Mayfield should also have honorable mention on this list.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. They go hand in hand. That whole Cleveland offense, I would say. And then my third guy, and just like you with your boy and Rodgers, it pains me to write him down, but I had to write him down. It's got to be George Kittle. George Kittle. Where has George Kittle been? They had the bye week, but the first 3 weeks, like no touchdowns. You think Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They're 3-0. I mean, not that Garoppolo's been playing that great, but I mean, they're 3-0. They were supposed to be a good team, and you think you get a better quarterback in there, you're going to put up better numbers, and Kittle just has not been the man. So I've replaced my tight end man crush of George Kittle. I've replaced him with my other man crush,
How quick?
Mark Andrews.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's a good list. All right. I'm going to do my top. I was surprised these names did not come up. Austin Eckler is the way he's playing and carrying the San Diego Chargers right now. He basically is like Connors of last year.
Yeah.
He's replacing the star running back and is playing as if like he was built for that system. It just amazes me how much production he's doing. And I would say he's actually better than Melvin Gordon last year. Like he has been consistent almost every game. Gordon was never that consistent. You watch him some games, he had monster. They gave him, but he was Gordon was more of a result of the volume. They just gave him a lot of opportunities. Eckler is just maximizing every opportunity he gets.
That's probably why Gordon reported, right?
Yeah, he freaked out.
Like, oh, what the heck? This guy's doing better. I don't want this guy doing better than I did.
I've had Eckler on my team before, like last year to fill in. He puts up numbers even when Gordon's he maximizes opportunity, but previously when Gordon's been hurt, he did not carry the load well. This is an anomaly.
But when you know you're going in with that running back, I think the offensive coordinator was probably smart enough to probably redo the offense for the strengths of Eckler. Because if you're filling in, like anybody, if you're the backup, the system is not designed for you. You're designing it for Melvin Gordon. Because Melvin Gordon, well, again, I mean, Eckler has just been multidimensional because he's not just running the ball, he's freaking receiving. So Austin Eckler, to me, where he was drafted and what he's producing, he's producing like a first-round running back. And he was drafted, in the 4th, 5th round? He's someone I wanted.
Way later than that.
Yeah, so he's someone I wish I wanted, and I let him slide thinking, no one's really going to, and shame on me, because I wish I had him on my team. The other one is surprising to write, and I'm only saying his name because of Bruce Arians, but Jameis Winston, after week 1, Winston, whatever it is, I know Bruce Arians said, he can work with Jameis Winston and he can turn him around, and so far so good. Like he's made him look amazing.
Mike Evans has been going off.
But Godwin's my third guy. I mean, here's a guy that's producing, I think, more than Evans consistently week to week. And I know there was talk about him.
He was hyped a lot.
Yeah, but where he was drafted, he's giving you potentially number one. I mean, look where you draft Odell Beckham and some of these other like high flying guys, like even Thielen and other. And if you took Godwin, he's playing like a number one receiver in a system that has another number one receiver. So I'm giving Tampa a lot of love. It's still early. This list could change, and I think we should revisit this later. But right now, really surprised by what Bruce Arians has done to that crappy team, because Tampa was terrible, and they still are terrible. But he's like an offensive man. Like he can turn things around. So my busts, I don't know how you guys do not put Devontae Freeman as one of your top busts. Holy cow. That guy, every year you hear, the last couple of years, this is his year. Nothing's changed in Atlanta. Nothing.
No. Ito Smith. I mean,
his back.
No, it wasn't Ito. Who's the other guy? Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, but that was his change of pace back.
But there was a lot of off-season talk about Devontae Freeman being the healthiest he's been in his entire career. Like he was like going in and be like, I'm finally healthy.
What's the problem?
Well,
he sucks.
Right.
So where he's drafted, what is it?
Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I think we both neglected him.
Yeah. The next one.
I'm mad for drafting him, and you're mad for trading for him.
Yes. And there was a reason he was selected, because he was a subject of trade. Someone wanted him.
Yeah.
Someone drafted him, people. And then someone actually traded for him. So, wow. The next one, I got to take the hit on this because I did draft him, and I know there was a person, Mr. Roper, chirping in my ear about bad knees. Todd Gurley he hasn't been terrible, but for what he used to be, it's almost like he's got turf toe.
But they're using him though. That's the plus side there.
That's why I think this might change because whatever's going on with Goff is like bringing. He's so bad, and they don't want to run the ball. They don't even want to run the ball. I've watched a couple of their games because they were a team in the Super Bowl last year, so they're on national TV, and I don't understand the game plan of McVay. It seems like he doesn't know what the hell to do. Like he doesn't know if he wants to run the ball. He's got this dope Goff that can't hit any targets unless they're doing quick slants. Other than that, he's useless. It's so frustrating. But right now, Gurley in the second round, the way that whole team is playing. Not worth that. That's why he's not bad, but if you're taking him in the second round, he is definitely not producing. Mm-hmm. The third guy, I was debating between Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan no one really took high, but he's been terrible.
He is terrible.
But Joe Mixon.
Has he been that bad? I thought Matt Ryan was doing well.
He's not been doing well. He's been, in fairness to him, he's been crushed behind. But he's not my guy. Joe Mixon.
Anybody
drafting a Bengals?
Yeah.
Never draft the Bengals.
He was the guy I was kind of...
Didn't you just pick up Andy Dalton?
I did, but the only reason why I picked him up was because he is a pass-first offense. He was second in the league up until week 4 in pass attempts. So if you got a quarterback who's going to throw the ball a lot, and you got 2 receivers with A.J. Green coming back.
He's only got one. The other one's out for a month now.
Well, now, but that's why I picked him up. I picked him up before then, but you'll see.
Don't you also have Jarvis on your team?
You will see tomorrow morning what happens
now,
to
folks,
Andy Dalton.
Let's remember when we check back on this Andy Dalton pickup, and he's defending it now. We'll see how he feels after he throws up. It cost him a couple games.
That game was awful.
Yeah.
He played so bad.
Yeah, so he's a schmuck.
There is an honorable... Oh, are you done with all your...
Yeah, that's mine. Those are mine.
I do have one honorable mention because it hasn't been mentioned yet. Juju's been terrible.
Yeah, but where he's drafted, but when you don't have Ben Roethlisberger, it's tough to say. That's
throw wide receivers are tough.
Yeah, like it's like Odell Beckham has his star quarterback. Yeah. You valued him based on the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Julio Jones. If Matt Ryan went down, you're going to be mad at Julio Jones? Like, no. I mean,
but Mason Rudolph hasn't been that bad. He actually had a really good Monday night game, and Juju had like 1 catch for 15 yards.
Yeah, but
when you practice with the practice squad, you throw to the practice squad receivers in the game. He doesn't have Juju's timing.
When you're like I said this about Antonio Brown. I mean, like if you're good. I said it about T.Y. Hilton. I said, just because Luck went down, if you're a quality receiver, if you're a top 10 receiver, you're going to still get targets.
Bad example. Brissett was practicing the whole time. Like, he did the whole preseason with them.
And he was with the Patriots, so anybody that's played with the Patriots is like dipped in gold.
All right. That's a homer response there.
Why was a homer?
He just said Jacoby Brissett.
Honorable mention for 3-up.
Yeah.
Who thought he was going to be relevant?
Jacoby Brissett was on your 3-up?
No, he just said honor. All right.
He's not listening.
He's your honorable.
Is anybody listening to me?
Not listening.
We did it. That's how you get the title into the show.
All right. Well, folks, this is a long episode, and it's been a while since we had our third man in, so we went long, but we gave you a lot of content to make up for the gap. We haven't had a chance to get an episode in, so this is a nice long one. You know what? Chew on it for a while. You don't have to listen to it all at once, but we definitely want to let you know that you can still get us on YouTube, and we are now officially on SoundCloud, and Big Meat will tell you how to get that.
Yeah, so SoundCloud, where you get the highest quality, as it's intended to be. But now you can listen to us in the car if you have Bluetooth-enabled device, streaming it right from your phone. You can easily find us at soundcloud.com/Azar and the Meat, all one word. That's where our entire playlist is located there. You can listen to all of our wonderful podcasts that we've done. But never fear, we're still going to be listed under YouTube. And for all those non-technical people that are out there who still use a flip phone, perhaps, and they can't download the SoundCloud app. So it is exciting. The highest quality. It sounds great. Certainly listen to us, download the app, and check us out on SoundCloud.
Yeah, and remember to like us, because we're trying to build up our likes and our people that are subscribing. So hopefully one day we can actually get sponsors to help us bankroll this crazy project that we've taken on right now. All right, folks. again, it's been a long episode, but we appreciate your patience in getting through it. It's a lot of fun stuff that we covered. And until next time.
It's been a pleasure, boys.
All right. Thanks, Jarvis, for joining us.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Hope you're happier now.
I feel. I
stop deep throating the damn mic.
I've been intervened.
No, good.
You've been purged. All right.